Uh, Okie dokie. Hi, everyone. It's already 10:03, so let's get started. Hi. You're welcome to stay, please. So don't worry about it. We have Dana coming over today, so we should be good. I wanted to start just sharing some of the stats. So I am going to put my screen on. Okay, just so we can get an update. I don't know if you seen the article, was it Shelley in the Wall Street Journal um, about the inflation and what's going on. So the last report shows the inflation went down from the peak, about half of it. So it's at 4% right now, which means we're still 2% to go, which is the hardest 2%. To go, and the Fed still want to get to that point. They're planning on doing a couple of more increases. Not right now, but in July, and then who knows when the other one is. So they're not planning to, according to the Wall Street Journal, they're not planning to do it this meeting this week, but they're planning to do it in July. So your clients, advise them, there's still more to come in terms of rate increases. So why wait for that, right? Like Andrea's client says, well, yeah, there's no bubble, right?
Finally, like I have some buyers that were like, we're just gonna wait, it's gonna crash, we're gonna wait, it's gonna crash. There's nothing I could tell them.
They had to do it on
twice, but they finally, we saw some houses this weekend, and he's like, you were right, it's not gonna crash. And here's why. He came to the conclusion himself, so it was like Inception, right? I was like, okay, it just took 5 months, but.
Didn't I tell you?
So some are jumping back in.
Okay. So yes, of course you can see that things are happening.
And we saw 3 houses in Westminster all around 1.1, and they were off the market 4 days.
Yeah.
Multiple offers.
Yeah.
So some people.
Yeah. I mean, it's still, I was reading another article about, what do you do? What's this market all about? And what can investors and your clients do, and even us do? And a normalizing market, which it seems like it's slow to come in California, right? It's still, there's opportunities. We're still finding opportunities to invest, opportunities to help our clients with. It's just that, as always, inventory is so limited, but we're seeing a lot more people thinking about selling, a lot of conversations about that, because we're waiting for something to happen and nothing is happening, right? We're still in the same pattern. So keep your eyes and your ears. Right, but it's catching up. It's finally catching up.
Right.
What we've been saying for a long time, it takes a while because the media says what they say, and people, take forever to realize what's happening. So
I was
yeah, please.
in there, but like I really kind of took it upon myself this last weekend, specifically with this client, to poke and ask questions on both sides, like why were the sellers selling, and like kind of do a little research on that in a sense, or whatever, like what am I trying to say, a poll or something. And then again, talking to my client, and he's in the mindset now where he's like, okay, not only is it not crashing, the inventory is so low, so I'm now okay with, if I get in on something now, I'll just refi. They said that like 10 times to me over 4 houses, like, we'll just refi, we'll just refi, we'll just refi. So that mentality is there. And then, yeah, 2 of the houses were divorce, and one was, and 2 of them were job transfers in a different state. So this is still happening.
Yes. Listen to Elizabeth. Elizabeth has 5 pieces of business with sellers, and because of those changes in lifestyle, right? And life events, divorces, parents getting older and needing to downsize or go to an assisted living.
Right.
So those are the things that you need to concentrate on, because that's where the bulk of the transition is happening, right?
How many times did you tell your clients before they came to us?
And that's right.
How many months?
For 5 months.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've been saying that, and
Yeah.
then they finally took it in.
Well, I was having a crisis as a realtor in general, like in my brain, I'm like, am I not convincing? Am I not
Yes.
speaking to people properly? Like I was looking at myself like, do I not come across like an expert? Because it was too many clients that I have that like 3 or 4 months later, they're like, okay, I understand what you're saying. I'm like, oh, you understood 4 months ago.
Yeah, but
well,
there's-
because
there's
the
so many-
media is telling
yeah.
them the opposite.
Right, right.
What?
The media is telling
Right.
them the opposite. They don't
Yeah.
see you every day, they see the news every day, and they're on social media every day.
Right.
Yeah,
And everybody on social media is an expert, you know?
Yeah.
the what?
Everybody on social media is an expert.
Especially
I
Zillow.
can't.
You know? So it doesn't really matter whether somebody does have an expertise or not. If they hear it or see it somewhere else, they're gonna question. Because they're gonna say, well, you have an interest in whether I move
That's
forward or
exactly-
not.
yeah.
These other people don't have any interest in whether I move forward or not. They're telling you something different.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you just have to stay with it and keep showing
Let's see.
facts, you know, keep showing facts.
No, nobody's walking away.
So there you
Just-
go.
Yeah,
There you
that's a
go.
big thing.
Yeah, I've got a couple that are buyers and sellers.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
sell to buy.
Mhm.
And so it's that timing, it's a perfect market for you for selling, but it's a shitty market for you for buying.
Right.
So it's like, how do you, and I'm trying to, I would love for a lender or somebody to say, if somebody is buying, if you're selling your home and getting multiple offers and you're getting 10, 20, 30,000 about what you're thinking, that difference can make up on the flip side of you buying where it offsets your interest.
This market is
rate and
perfect for
the-
downsizing, right? Because when you downsize, I mean, you downsize, you're selling a bigger
Right.
asset, and then you're buying a smaller asset with the increase. So that's how it offsets.
Yeah.
Right? It's easier to convince somebody to downsize right now.
Yeah.
But I also see to
But
be
you
able
see
to
what
do
I'm
the
saying
buy.
about
yeah.
making extra money on the selling side?
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
why the
Interest
downside.
rate will probably come down in about a year or so,
Mhm.
Right.
give or take, I don't have a
Yep.
crystal ball, but.
Yeah.
Don't.
No,
I-
And so, you just
Doesn't
kind of,
But it's all relative. I mean, if you're gonna sit there and wait for the prices to go down there, it's gonna go down on the sell side.
Sales side,
Right.
exactly.
And there's a stat right now, I was out in the desert with one of the heads of the company that I do a lot of my business with. And, because the foreclosure market is really pretty dead right now.
Mhm.
Because the stat is, and this is nationwide, which surprised him actually, 60% of mortgages or homes that are owned in the country have over 50% equity.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's a huge deal. So it's like selling, it's like if you're gonna sit there and wait for you're waiting, you're gonna wait forever. You just don't know. There's no there's no crystal ball, there's none of that. It's like you've got your asset, you've got a good asset. The sellers are finally starting to come around that the prices did drop a little bit. So now they're gonna do that again. And then, if you're gonna buy, if nothing else, rent for a couple months. Or, and then see what's out there.
oh, the selling. and
Or a
buying.
year, and if you
Mhm.
really wanna do that. Because you're not gonna get like for like. You're not gonna get a lower priced home and get maximum dollar for
Right.
your property. It's all gonna be relative, as that goes. Think about what they're saying. It's like they're not living in reality on that part. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get the maximum amount. You might get the maximum amount if you decide
On
to,
a deal.
if you decide to rent for a year, maybe you'll get it that
Good
way.
deal on the other
Maybe,
side.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but
Yeah.
you might get that. at
But
that
now you're
point.
losing out on all the, the benefits and you're pay, the.
Yeah, but it gives you a chance to look. I'm just saying, it gives you a chance
Yeah.
to look. Sell while you can right
Yeah.
now. I don't know, it's just, that's.
Oh,
you can't
Oh.
convince them, so.
Oh, no.
Almost a copy of it.
Yeah. There's a lot of fear of making the wrong decisions,
Yeah.
you know?
No.
You can't, yeah.
Yeah.
I just fall
So-
back on that whole, like, more is lost by indecision.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
It's like,
Who posts that?
what?
Good
Post
morning,
that.
Cynthia.
An analogy when you're saying, God, I should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
November 2nd, 2024.
Yeah.
Sarah, how was your open house on Sunday?
Amazing. On Saturday, I was with Elizabeth. We had about, I think that the end count was about 40,
Hmm.
42 people through.
Wow.
And that's just individual people. I used to count groups, but she's like, no, just tally everybody.
Right.
And on Sunday, I want to say my number was 2,
Wow.
Wow.
and I actually have a lead.
Oh,
Yay! That's what you were there for, right?
The buyer lead. Yeah.
Good.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
There was a couple, but a lot of them were reluctant to like sign in or share information, so they took mine, and one of them actually called me.
Wow,
Good.
that's very cool.
It was really good, very busy, like, and it was at the 1.2 price point, so it's not stopping people from coming to look.
There's not much less than that, you know, in the market, so it's crazy.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anybody else did an open house?
I did an open house, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, but what I was gonna say on the sign-in sheets, Shelley created one that's on Canva that I printed off, and I've always put out sign-in sheets and people feel weird signing in, I'll ask people to sign in. But on hers, it'll say, are you working with an agent and who it is? And I feel like everyone was signing in, because then they don't feel obligated to be like, oh, you're gonna like blow me up, you know, and then there were 4 or 5 people on there that said, no, I was not working with an agent.
That's awesome.
It's disarming.
Those
It's a
are the
good
ones we
thing.
used
Yeah.
that we used to use.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
ones from
Yeah,
that, yeah.
Yeah, those always do work, because if they do have an agent, I like to let your agent know that you stopped by.
Mhm.
And so to communicate with your agent. So, and then when
So
you
they don't
talk-
feel like you're
Right.
there to
And
attack
I'll
you.
let your agent know that you stopped, yeah.
Yeah.
So when you do that, then you're not predatory, and it really does help. They will sign in then.
The other thing that somebody gave me, a tip that somebody gave me here a long time ago was, instead of asking somebody, do you have an agent? Most people say yes, because they're just like, oh, I don't want you to sell anything. You just say, oh, who are you working with?
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's like that assumption that they're working with somebody, and then if they're not, they'll say, oh, I'm not working with anyone.
Right.
right, because they cannot come up with a
Yeah.
name on the spot. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I always ask if somebody says, yes, I have an agent, I say, great, can you just write your agent's name and number where it says number? So that way I can follow up with them.
Yep,
Right.
And if they don't, then I'm like, all right, well, then I'm following up with you, dude. I held an open house over the weekend. I had the same thing as kind of Sarah with the numbers. On Saturday, I had 11 groups. I didn't count individuals, but groups through. And then on Sunday, there was 4. So Sunday was just kind of a backwards day.
where was it?
Rossmore, Los Alamitos.
Okay. And Sarah's yours, Lakewood, right? Oh, Long Beach, Knoxville?
The difference too is that you're residential, and Dublin's, I think, was a townhouse, correct? Condo townhouse, something like that.
Was it the first weekend?
No, it wasn't the first weekend. Yeah, Sarah's was the first weekend, so she got a lot more numbers through, but just the distinction between, I just noticed it the last weekend too. On Saturday, I had more people than I did on Sunday, even last weekend. So it was just weird.
Kids are out of
Mhm.
school too, parents are
Yeah.
with their kids on Sundays and stuff like that, maybe, I don't know. So that's good to know that there's, you know, obviously activity, you can see the, you know, offers starting to go up, you know, from the listing price again, and, you know, that good stuff. So let's go look at the inventory real quick. And we'll look at the active listings. Let's go to Long Beach. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. So we still, look how low we
Oh,
are.
wow. Yeah.
A little uptick right here from April to May,
But still down.
but still down. The entire city of Long Beach is 355. That's crazy low, but it's a little bit higher than 335 to 355. So 20 more 1 month over the month. So that's still, you know, crazy close. Percentage of original price still flat from last, you know, last month. So we're still doing the same. Just wanted to show you, maybe every 2 weeks on what the market is
Mhm.
doing. These are month to month. The one that it's live is the one that I posted links. Is the email that is sent to you. And it has like when you can change the areas. Just look at that day to day or week to week and see what the market is doing. In Lakewood, see if Russ is not here today, but I always pull Lakewood.
I claim the city.
He claimed
Yeah.
the whole city.
And he's going after
He's
it.
got more in his farm coming. Crazy.
Yeah,
That you can see the activities is taking up. This is all because of him. No, I'm just kidding.
Get him, Russ, get him.
Yeah, these are his 2-3 listings that he's got.
No,
Just
that's,
kidding.
no, that's.
Just the
original
price,
price.
I know. I'm
I
just
know.
kidding.
Okay, so where's the listing?
Active listings, it's flat still, 39 to 35. He sold them. So just look at the market, look at what it's doing to kind of, figure out where you are in the whole mix. If you're driving the market or you're just waiting for it to happen, right? So we want to be obviously ahead of the market. We want to be doing things and then see the results of what we did, right? Have that influence should be in your mindset, even though you may be just a small portion of it. That's where you get to be on the top 10% or top 5% of the agents, right? By driving the market. So let's go back to our deck. Oopsie days, where's it at? There's somewhere, promise you, there it is. No, that's not. Give me a second. Come on, open up. I'm gonna stop sharing and then share again. Hold on. Share. Okay, so listings, Knoxville, we talked about it. It has 50 and 52 or whatever number of views on the open house. I didn't hear that she had offers, but she was working this morning. Do you know if she got offers?
Yesterday, she did share that she had one in town.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's gonna be gone soon. Then Jennifer still has 400 Ocean.
What's actually under Dublin right now?
Dub,
Yeah, we just accepted an offer late last night, full price, so opening escrow today.
beautiful. Okay, Carrie is not on the line. Kim,
Yes. I have Palo Verde that's under contract.
oh,
I did not change it on there.
okay, that's fine.
That's the one that's showing up there, right?
Yeah, Palo Verde.
We got 7 offers and listed at 819 and we're under contract at 8.
Was that the one that didn't have an access?
Wait, what'd you say you were?
We listed at 819 and we're under contract at 894.
Wow.
Oh.
There you go.
Had access tree.
Isn't that insane?
So there's
Yep.
It's just
Amazing.
crazy.
Wow.
I love how you were like.
Yeah, we had appraisal inspection yesterday and I was talking to her as she was leaving, she said, I didn't have a problem appraising.
And what were we talking about originally for the price on it?
$799.
Oh,
And I was like, I don't want it, because I learned from San Bernardino, with 37 offers, it's just like, it's really too much for me to organize. So I don't want that to happen again. Obviously, a very different market out here than San Bernardino, but still, I mean, seven solid offers on a house that I was worried about because it's on a busy street.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
The competition is so limited right now, and
Yeah.
people want to get in a house.
Wow,
It's a wow for sure.
that's a wow.
Mike is not on the line.
Yeah,
I'll
Mike
let
is. I
Mike
saw him
is?
earlier.
Oh, Mike. Mike. There it is.
So I could barely hear you guys.
Oh. That's weird. Can you hear me
Yes.
better now?
Yes. What are we doing? Listings?
Yes, your
My,
listings. First, your Buena Park and your land are still in the same, or are they not?
yeah, so Buena Park's closing this week.
Not Jackson.
It's what it should be 16-day escrow. And then the land is still available. Sellers willing to carry. So if anyone has someone that's interested in land but doesn't have a need down the loan, give me a call. 5 acres.
And is he lowering it or still 150?
She will consider lowering it, yes.
Okay.
Victorville?
Roosevelt, yeah, out there. Roosevelt?
Where is
Yeah,
it?
Roosevelt is just adjacent to, it's like a suburb of Lancaster, it's the very far edge of it.
Lancaster. And the Buena Park that you were talking about, is that Jackson Way? No.
No, Jackson Way is still waiting on her to clean up, to make space to show it. That's
Is
all
it-
she's waiting on.
Lady?
All I'm waiting on.
Mike, is this the shoebox?
Yes.
lady? Okay.
Okay. Okie dokie. Russ is not here, but he's got 3 on. He's got Level Side now. Dunrobin and Ram. All 2 of them in Lakewood. I don't know the status of those right now.
I have it coming soon, it's not up there yet.
Okay, yeah. Let's go to, oops. This thing is on the way. Hold on. There's one more. Sarah Vogel, is she still out?
She's in France. Yeah, she's
She's
back
still out.
tomorrow.
Okay. And
On that one though, there's no offers in hand. That was the one that we've had multiple open houses and no offers in hand. They just did a reduction. So
which
if anybody
one?
has somebody, the one on Montecito,
Oh, yeah.
123.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So if anybody has people looking in Rossmore, Los Alamitos, we got
Right,
a
action.
2-bedroom townhome.
The price.
What's
What is
that?
What is the new price?
The new price on that one, sorry, I have to pull it really quick because I'm doing 714,988.
Okay, that's what's up on the board.
Okay, so that's
Okay,
updated.
so she did update it. Okay, great.
Okay, and then the last one I can't see. But if you have a listing that I didn't talk about, not upcoming, but a actual listing.
Maria also has her Big Bear one coming,
Yes.
or it's listed. If anybody wants to hold that, she's driving to Big Bear right now, so she asked me to put this out there. But if anybody wants to hold open the Big Bear house, it's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. It's on like an acre of land. It's really nice. She's looking for somebody to hold it open June 24th and 25th, that weekend. So if anybody wants to hold something, hold that place open, let her know.
How much is it, Dublin?
Look at me.
Woo!
840.
So 840 with an acre with 5-bedroom house.
Wow.
I'm debating it.
Be faster.
The baby coming big bear.
I'm sorry, 870. 870. I was trying to give a discount. 870. 870.
Russ is thinking about it. I'm gonna put him on the spot.
Yeah.
You can't, right? Because they live there.
Yeah, it's 5 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, a little 3,100 square foot home.
Wow.
But whoever does the open houses that weekend, where do they stay? They have to come back the hill?
They would have to talk to Maria about that.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Any on the coming soons?
I have it coming soon.
Okay, what do you got,
Okay.
Julie?
I have my leukemia. It's on the MLS. That's coming soon.
Okay, so that's
So
why
it's
it's not
a
there.
3-2. If you guys are familiar with the Cove and La Quinta, it's at the top of the Cove. So if you look at the map, it's south. Oxymoron, but it's the only available property for sale and in that area. And it's got a pool and it also has grass in the back, which is when I sold the house last year, that was one of the pushbacks was, well, there's no grass area. So this one has a backyard with a grass area and views of the mountains, and it also has the front yard with pool views of the mountains. 539, which is the least expensive. Well, there's two cheaper homes, less expensive. But this one has a pool. The other one's
Is it modern, like built?
it's built in 78. It's more it's not the Santa Fe style. It's not the contemporary, square boxy one. It's no. This one's no. It's got recessed lighting, updated kitchen, updated bathrooms, big master. No. It's been updated. Yeah.
And what's the story of the Airbnb?
So no B&B, no Airbnb, no short-term rental. Short-term rentals are still happening if you already have a license to do them. 30 plus days is okay.
Yeah.
So you still can, and you have furnished finders. That would be great because Eisenhower Hospital, I constantly get emails from them with regards to people looking for the Avenida Carranza house. So there's always movement there. And then you can always figure out a way to put short term in there. You just have to block it.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's
Yeah,
Takes the
just no,
space.
just no.
Yeah.
2 days, 3 days.
Yeah.
Just, okay, got it.
so.
Okay, cool. Lucky.
Anybody else?
Kim, you have a couple coming up? No, that's already
Yeah.
there. That's Gilbert and Palo Verde already live, right?
They're already live.
Yeah.
So do I go in and update them?
I can do that if you want me to, yeah.
Both live under contract.
Okay, so I'll take them out.
I've got 2 more coming up, but I don't know all of the specifics, but I'll add them in there.
Okay, that's good. Linden is up already. Dublin? He left. Okay, so anybody else? I know Elizabeth has 4 more coming, but she is working right now, so she's not here. Anybody else? Any coming soons or prospects of coming soon listings? If not, we'll go to buyers.
I have, it's a little premature, but I met with a couple in Lakewood, just near Level-Side, which was another one I had last year. I met a long time ago, actually, and they just reached out to sell. They were going to divorce. They decided not to, and now I just heard from them. So I'm guessing they might not have made it work. However, end of the month, we're meeting up again. So my hope is that because I had it signed already, we're just going to pick that back up. But it is a large 2-story 3-2 in Lakewood. So I don't know price yet, obviously, but I'm hoping by the end of the month, we'll be moving that right along.
Awesome.
How large is large?
How large is large?
I would have to go back and look. I want to say it was like 1,800 to 2,000. That could be a little bit high, but it was definitely a bigger, for Lakewood, especially with the 2-story.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
My Compton coming soon listing, got a couple, Greg and KJ's bringing someone tomorrow at 1 o'clock to look before we list it. It's a perfect house for an investor to pick up. I guess bringing it up though, I do have questions, and maybe this is another conversation because the seller, she's really set on an unrealistic price. And so I've been showing her comps. I've been working with a good friend of hers that is helping her with the transition of selling, and she definitely has decided she's selling. We have the listing agreement signed and everything, but I think she's really hoping for a price that's unrealistic, so if anybody has any tips or pointers for me.
What street?
It's on Fraley Avenue.
But if you're showing it to investors, that means it's being priced super low.
Yeah, and so she said, well, let's see what people come up with. Let's see what investors come up with to give me a better idea if I want to, if it makes sense to go live with this or not. I mean, the house is a lot of work. What's the motivation? She wants to move to Georgia.
Mm.
And she's lived there for a long time. It's a 2-story house and she needs to get her hip replaced, her
Mm.
bedroom's upstairs. There is reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing with Compton is that you have to have that pre-sale
Pre-sale.
inspection. And that pre-sale inspection can just like
Kill you.
kill you.
Mhm.
So,
Because she's not gonna be able to do all of that.
right, so you're gonna have to, like, I put a stipulation in there where you have, the buyer will assume, you know, the pre-sale inspection.
Did you do that
Wait.
already?
I haven't done the pre-sale inspection. We contact the city, but she's the one that has to order it.
Yeah,
I
so,
might give her what she sees that.
so,
Yeah.
and do you have your license for Compton? To sell in Compton?
No.
You have to get like.
You have to get licensed.
We do.
We have a license, so yours is, I mean, you tack yours onto ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You pay a fee in the city. They give it to you right on the spot.
Is it always?
Oh, yeah.
I had to get one to do a freaking open house.
So,
Yeah, to do any business in the city.
It's not a big deal. though.
Carson, Compton,
I think Carson, I don't think Carson you have to anymore, because I did.
you don't anymore?
2 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
they
not.
got back in the pre-sale,
Okay.
unless they brought it up.
No, not the pre-sale,
No,
but the
license and
license.
pre-sale.
Okay.
But in the private remarks, or you're gonna probably wanna say, and let her know this, is that we're, you know, our
These are things
pool
you're gonna
might,
do.
yeah, get reduced because, you know, they don't want to take on that work. So that's why it's good to do the
The inspection before.
no, the.
The investor.
The investors, right, but if you
Because
do
they'll
the,
take over,
right,
but you have to do that.
Right.
So,
And I think for sake of ease, that's what she's looking for too, but it's just like that convincing of like, well, it's just. and
There's a
showing
cost
her.
to it.
I've
Yeah.
been working with her and mentioning it to her and her stepdaughters and her friend that's helping her out. And they all seem to realize that she's still like, well, I want top dollar. And
I'd rather see you get a whole bunch of offers that you could decide on rather than getting.
that's a good point.
mhm.
Would an
Yeah.
appraisal backfire,
So
you
when
think?
when is that hitting the market?
So they're coming in tomorrow, a couple people are coming in tomorrow to take a peek at it. Come up with what feels good as far as pricing is concerned.
She'll have one offer, just so you know.
Uh-huh.
She'll have one up. It's just a matter of, we'll do
Will she
verbal
take
and
it? Yeah.
Mhm.
then she's gonna probably have to go through the process of exactly what you're talking
Right,
about.
has to get the
And
pre.
they're experienced in the area, so they
Yeah.
know it. So
Yeah.
Mm,
it's just a matter of, yeah.
And
That's why
once,
we'll only do a verbal. There's no
Right.
reason wasting
right,
time on that.
so once you get that inspection, that's when you can let the
Say. and like,
people
yeah,
like, so this is what has to be
The
done.
city is saying in order
Right.
for you to sell.
Has to be
you have
done.
to do these things.
Mhm.
mm.
You do it, if not, there's just offer.
But we still can put, we can still put on the MLS, but
Right.
you have to be very clear that the buyer will assume all this and be responsible to get all this fixed. So.
And then
Yeah.
the buyers have, when I did it in Compton, the buyers had like 60 days to do the
60, 90,
repairs.
whatever,
They'll
yeah,
come out fast.
yeah.
Is it different if it's sold off market? Like if she sold directly to an investor off market,
Would you still
Still
have to
with
do
the
all the
sales?
Still, the
Still.
the city will, yeah.
Which, but with an investor, they'll assume that.
Right, yeah, those are like,
Okay, fun.
Yeah, sorry, really quick. Once you have them once the city does the pre-inspection, the time starts from there for the final repairs to be done. I know in Southgate, it's 1 year from the date. And I believe Compton does similar, and Carson. And then if somebody you can't, a lot of them right now, Southgate, Compton, all the, because that's where my clients are looking. They're all selling it and just saying my client's not going to do the pre-inspection repairs. Buyer has to assume them. And then the buyer has, again, depending on the city, 60 days or 90 days after it closes to complete those, or whatever permits need to be done and correct it and have it signed off.
Looks like Carson doesn't require anymore, like you said. Compton does,
Southgate does.
Southgate does, Culver does. I mean, there's several. I'll post this because it has all the cities. Inglewood.
I sold one in Inglewood last year that was just in a tiny thing that didn't require it.
What do you mean in a
There's
tiny
like a little
thing?
map.
A little area.
A little area that
Yeah.
didn't, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it near the city?
Yeah.
They've completely, the Rams changed that
Redevelopment.
whole.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a whole.
Yeah. Okay, I'll post this. So it's all the cities in California that require it. Anybody else with it coming soon so we can get going with the rest of the meeting? Buyer needs. Okay.
Sorry, coming soon. Sorry, coming soon. I'm gonna meet with the seller for 1,500 either tomorrow or Thursday. So 1,500 East Ocean, unit 611. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, a little over 1,300 square feet. Does have views of the water from the balcony and a little bit from the living room. You can see the Queen Mary from one of the bedrooms, and she's gonna HOAs are $850. And we're probably going to list right around $950.
Okay. Can you put it on the hot sheet for us?
I can, yeah, I can
Okay.
ask Shell to do that for me, sure.
Yes. Okay, so Shell, share.
All right, AI prompt of the week, brainstorm some fresh marketing ideas with ChatGPT. The prompt you're gonna give them is, hey, I'm a real estate agent looking to expand my reach and attract new clients. Could you help me brainstorm some innovative marketing ideas to promote my services, engage with potential clients, and stand out in a competitive market? It did, when I entered this, it sped out like a whole list of like have you tried this? Have you tried this? Like, if you're kind of stuck for ideas and you feel like you're in a rut, this is kind of a good way to kind of pop out some
I
ideas.
hate AI.
Question, yes, ma'am.
And I may have missed that class. But do I have to go to ChatGPT.com and then log in and register and then go
Yes.
onto that site and put that in?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll,
Exactly.
I'm gonna do another like hands-on workshop. I'll have everybody bring your laptops. Like, we're gonna if you don't have an account, we'll create an account. If you don't, like, and we're gonna go through some prompts together. I'm gonna show you guys how stupid easy this gets.
Okay. So I can't go, Alexa, I'm a real estate agent looking to expand my reach.
Watch out.
Blah, blah, blah. She's not gonna spit it out.
Yeah, no.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So-
I will try it.
Try it.
You can try, but this'll, you can organize your conversations in there, so you can
But if
have
you
like,
have a Spanish
you can have like, and it will answer you in Spanish.
Yes, it does. That's
I've had it translated.
racist little thing.
Racist little thing. Spanish is great.
If you have an accent, Alexa answers you. If you have a Spanish accent, Alexa will answer you in Spanish, even though you ask it in English.
Really?
That little
I
bit.
will
Yes.
tell you tonight, I whispered to Alexa to play Tropical Rainstorm, and I whispered it because Ian was sleeping, and she responded.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yes.
it recognizes now
She's-
when you're trying to be quiet, the little thing will like a little bit. So
Wow.
it's not like, okay.
Thunder and lightning.
I know, it's crazy. And ChatGPT is the basic now.
Yeah, that's
They
like,
are, there are so many crazy ways to do stuff now.
this is
it's
just
just
the easy, free
horrendous.
way. We can get into other
Yeah.
platforms as we get more advanced, but.
Yeah.
I just like heard that one of my realtor friends did an online course just recently, not in like a local brokerage or anything, and she said, like, you can ask it to make a full presentation for
Yes.
you.
Yep.
and You can upload a photo of yourself and have it change all your outfits and like, just, I
Mhm.
mean, the stuff that you wouldn't even, maybe all you know that, knew that, but I didn't know that. That's-
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then the government stepping in
Yeah.
to,
I'm sure.
They're stepping into what?
the government stepping in to regulate it now. Because you can have a picture of somebody doing something that they were never doing.
Right.
And then it's hard to look and see where the flaw is to see if it's real or not. So, yeah, they're,
Now
I
everything
just have
for-
to show what I really look like. and I'll-
yeah.
The reverse. There's a reverse. Oh,
Yeah.
that's fake.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's the point. That's the problem. Yeah, because evidence, that's gonna be a problem with it. So they're stepping in and I don't know how long they're gonna take. Well, there's so many things that you can do, photographs and stuff that are very, very hard to figure out if it's real.
I was helping a property management company hire a leasing consultant, and the leasing consultant used this to do their resume, and
Yeah.
HR said we're not accepting those resumes. So there's a lot of like interesting dynamics that are gonna,
But how do you know it
Come
was
from-
done by AI?
oh, they don't know.
AI, they actually have a program I heard on the radio, they have a program that see if AI conducted and created
It's
something.
kind of like, remember in high school
But
where.
it's
Yeah,
a
the-
lot too, because I'm
You-
seeing people
Um,
write it themselves,
yeah.
and if they're a good
And
writer,
plagiarism, yeah.
it's getting flagged as
Yeah,
written
no.
by AI, so you have to like go in and make, I guess,
Your
grammatical errors and.
Yeah. Well, I think because ChatGPT, the code inside of Word, right, has a lot of code that you don't see in letters. So there must be code somewhere
So don't copy paste.
that it's, yeah.
Rewrite it.
Retype it.
Retype it.
Oh, my.
Resize it, yeah.
You can change it into text, take all the
Yeah,
the
add a
data
period.
behind it, and
Yeah, add an exclamation point.
that's still gonna be caught because the
Writers are dying and cringing everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't stand it.
yeah, it's horrible. You can ask her to write a song. Yeah, to write a song about blah, 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 and
Yeah,
with
okay,
melody
write a
and
song.
everything. That's insane.
Write a song about real estate.
There you go.
So
I'll do another class for y'all.
thanks for keeping us updated enough, but not,
I don't want to.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you. Okay, so we're grilling. We're grilling.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, June 27th.
The 30th.
Okay.
So there will be a celebration of her birthday on Tuesday. You're gonna be gone?
No.
Oh, okay.
Celebrate.
I was like, what?
Celebrate.
So yeah, we haven't done much outdoors because the weather has been ridiculous. So we used to have our ditch days, and we used to go to my house to the pool and just play around or whatever, drink margaritas or something. So we're gonna get started, but with the barbecue here, we'll see what we're gonna come up with. In
Like
terms
across
of
the
what kind of,
street.
no, we're gonna do it here.
So that way we can.
So you don't have to
grill
go
out
to
here.
the outhouse
Yeah.
to the bathroom and stuff.
We'll be
We'll
inside,
do it
outside.
here.
You find a tree. You're fine.
Maybe we can like block off the parking spots right in the front.
Our parking spots and
Yeah.
stuff, yeah. I mean, the whole thing about that area is Cypress. It's not Los Alamitos. And it's only for residents and to reserve it. So it's a lot more complicated than just,
So this
Do
is
it.
not a public park.
it's a city park that you
But you
have to
be a
reserve.
resident
Yeah.
To reserve
To
anything.
reserve the pavilions. Yeah.
Right, you can go over there and walk around the track. But to reserve the pickleball
Yes.
courts.
Yeah. You can drop in.
You can drop in, but to reserve them, you have to be a resident of Cypress.
Who here is a resident site?
My mom.
Shelley's mom.
Shelley's mom.
There you go.
No, yeah, we.
Yeah, but we just wanted to have the barbecue like out front here so that if it's a hot day, we can come inside and eat.
Yeah, just make it faster. We don't have to wait until we get approved, whatever. So we'll do that, the first one of the summer. And yeah, because it will be summer by then.
Yes.
And then we'll figure out when the next one is gonna be. We're gonna have more activity. Obviously, COVID was a little funky dunky, but then we still did our thing.
We still did stuff.
So more activities to come. But please come over. We're not sure. Are we barbecuing or are we tacoing?
I don't know. TBD.
TBD?
TBD. We'll know more later this week.
Okay. So we'll let you know on Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's only here.
It's Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Taco
Yep.
Tuesday, okay.
That's
There
right.
you go.
There it is.
No?
You'd rather
You want a
barbecue?
barbecue? It's your birthday. No, not you personally.
Whatever is easiest for.
No, what's more fun?
What would you guys rather do?
And we have games,
We
right?
have loads of games.
And stuff. So it's not just like sitting and eating. I'm gonna make you work. No, it's not a bad thing. So, yes, we're gonna have secret beverages.
But if you're either tacoing or barbecuing, you have to have adult beverages.
Yes, we'll have him here, hidden from the world.
Yes.
Okay, so, anything that you want to bring up before we have Dana talk to us? Or do you want to talk to us first? Come on. Dana, Dana. Pickleball, pickleball.
I'll see Andreas this Thursday, right?
It's happening.
Yes, we're all going.
It's
Happening.
happening.
I proved that I can do it
I sent him the
in
link to
recovery.
the-
Yeah, I got my
Paddle.
t-shirt. My t-shirt came in, so I'm.
Oh,
That's
do you have to like
awesome.
look this way then?
No, I'm just.
Okay, no, hold on. Let me stop the share so they can see you,
Okay.
actually.
There you go.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. We got Dublin Mike, Barb, Shell. Well, I'm glad Dublin's on here because what I'm gonna talk about, it sounds like he knows a little bit about this. So
Can you
anyways,
go over there because your back is to the
Okay.
camera. There you
There
go.
you go, right there. And they can see you and we can see you.
okay, perfect. Well, hello, everybody.
Hi.
I think you're the only person I haven't met yet.
Right?
Greg?
Yes,
I'm the mystery guy in the back.
I'm Dana. I'm with Tyler Rep, the Old Republic title, but nice to see you all. Thanks for the warm welcome. I'm excited to be here. So I want to ask you guys a question. So who here owns who owns a condo in California? Do any of you own a condo? Does anybody own a triplex or anything larger than that? That's a multifamily unit?
Family members that do.
Have you helped somebody purchase a condo in California?
Yes.
Have you helped anybody purchase a triplex or larger multifamily?
Yes.
So pretty much most people do. Okay, awesome. So then this is for you. You're gonna want to pay attention to this.
Uh-oh.
Have you guys heard of Senate Bill 326 or 721?
Only from you.
Just now.
I know Dublin knows about this, and probably Andreas, since you work with property management. No? Okay, perfect. He doesn't yet. All right. So do you guys remember when there was a balcony collapse in Berkeley? I know we all know
Oh,
about
boy.
Florida. So what happened in Berkeley, just to refresh your memory, if you haven't heard about this, there were 6 college students that were on a balcony, and this is a condo complex. They're all college students, they're hanging out, and unfortunately, the landlord knew that the balcony had damage, it was rotting, and so he had tried to add like a protective layer of something on top, and that was not the proper way to handle the situation. And unfortunately, the balcony collapsed, all 6 college students died, and 7 other people got injured that day. So a lot of these laws, right, these Senate bills occur because of problems that occur, right, and issues. It's a tragic event. And there's a lot more cases that have happened other than just this one, but this is the one I read about that helped really prompt this, and was that case. So this is something that's gonna affect any condos and any triplexes or larger as far as multifamily goes. There's Senate bills that were put into place where you have to have an inspection done by a civil engineer or an architect by January 1st, 2025. That sounds far, right? It's not. So all these inspection companies that you call right now, and I can give you a recommendation, but there's a bunch out there. They're booking up all the way through January 1st, 2025 right now, because you have to get this done. Why
It's
is
not for sale or anything. It just has to
No,
be done.
It has to be done. And what are they looking for? So the whole reason is they don't want to have any more collapses, right? And I call it the balcony law. You'll hear people call it that, but it's not just for balconies. Basically, elevated elements are what they call them. So anything that's higher than 6 feet above ground, where it's examples would be not just a balcony, but like a stairwell, stairway where people share, an elevated deck. So like my condo, we don't have any personal balconies in our complex, but we do have an elevated deck and we do have shared stairways that people share. So we have to get this done too. This is something that's starting to be talked about within HOAs, but many people don't know. And so it's important, I believe, for all of us to be aware. Not only is it a good reason for you to reach out to your clients, even property managers that you may know, but just warn them that this is going to be something that's going to have to take place. And, you know, condo owners, they are within an HOA. HOAs have to handle this, but they need to be notified that they need to take care of this by January 1st, 2025. Or if they own a triplex or a larger multifamily, then that landlord needs to know about this. So I can send you more information on the actual Senate bill, but as a title rep, what I'm thinking about too, where I can help you, is I can share, obviously we have the data, right? So we can look for different condos or triplexes and above to reach out to just let them know about the Senate bill. And what happens if they don't do anything about it, right? So I did speak to a company that's doing the surveys. I'm asking them how it's going, and they informed me that if they red flag something, so what they're looking for is like rotting wood, corrosion, screws that aren't screwed in, just things that are a health and safety hazard, right? If they red flag something, the inspectors, you're gonna have 120 days to get that fixed. And that's not just like, oh, we went to the city and pulled a permit. Like, you have to have it fixed. So you're gonna have to run to the city, pull the permits, get a contractor and get this completed. And what happens if you don't do that? Then they're going to fine you and a lien can be placed on the property. So if we don't want that to happen, and obviously we haven't seen this take place fully in effect yet, so I'm not sure how on top of it they will be, but I don't want to risk it, right? It's not worth it. So we already have ours getting planned out for our condo building. And I know I was in here the other day, Dublin actually, I don't know if he's still on, but I know he had mentioned there's a couple high rises that have already completed it in Long Beach. But I can tell you guys, there are a lot that have no idea this exists, or they're just like putting it in the back burner. And this is going to become an issue. A lot of condos, and I don't have a list of exactly what the reserves are of all the condo complexes, but I can tell you a lot of condos don't have reserves. And so I asked this company like that I spoke to, they normally do the apartment complexes on these types of inspections and more commercial side things, but they informed me that the cheapest one they've even done just for an inspection, not fixing anything, was $1,500. So that might not sound like a lot of money, but this was never in the plan, right? To have this money stored away. So my theory is that there are going to be special assessments, emergency assessments. And I actually, I mean, I already have got a couple listings. We just closed last week on one of them, another one's in, on the market right now from a property manager that I work with, because the owners don't want to deal with this, right? So they don't want to have to get an inspection. And another part of this, if it's a HOA, so a condo, you have to get this inspection every 9 years. And the inspectors have to analyze 95% of the elevated elements. So if it's a triplex or larger, so multifamily, they have to get this done every 6 years, but they only need to analyze and inspect 15%. I think the thought process is one person owns it all, they're gonna fix it all. If it's condos, it's all a little wacky sometimes, not managed. Nobody oversees the HOAs very well. And
so will it be the responsibility of each owner?
Not owners if they own a triplex or larger, because they own the whole building, right? But it's gonna be the HOA that needs to handle the condos.
Okay.
Yeah, so one person will come out as an inspector, and then they will, well, it's a engineer, right? That will come out and they will analyze, if it's a condo, 95% of the elevated elements is what they call it. It's like called EEE.
And
is
how
what they're
does
calling
that
it.
affect the other units?
It'll affect, if anything is red flagged and they don't get it repaired, then they'll place a lien against the property, right? So there'll be
The
a
whole
lien that,
building.
yeah.
Yeah.
The whole building. So you'll see that on a title report.
So the other people can't jump onto your inspection unless it passes?
What do you mean?
If they find nothing wrong.
Oh, yeah, then if
They're
they
telling
find nothing wrong, then you're good. You did your,
You're good, but the rest of the people in the building, are they all good?
Well, no, so then
They're all tied together.
they're all tied together. So if an HOA is individual condos, usually, so like I'll give you an example. So our building has 10 different units, 10 different owners, right? So, but we have one HOA. The HOA is going to hire the company to come inspect it. They'll look at 95% of all of those balconies, walkways, elevated areas, right? But if it's a triplex or larger, so triplex, quad, anything above that, then there's usually one owner or a couple investors, right? And they will hire somebody to analyze 15% of those elements. So it's going to be more expensive for the condos to inspect because they have to inspect a lot more.
Right.
And so these older buildings, maybe by the beach, I know something you bring up.
70 units at 1,500 alone, just for the units with their own private balconies. Then you have all the elevated walkways.
Yeah, and it's expensive.
Yeah,
Like
and
I got a
decks and
quote
stuff,
for just railings and stuff for my building, and it's not that big. It was like $33,000 for a new railing. So I'm not trying to, and this isn't to scare anybody. We're in the industry, right? Like it's just good to know, educate, inform, and when you talk to investors, the last thing you want is to worry about future issues, and you want to have control over making sure that things are done. So if you guys want me to send you any of I can send the Senate bill so you have it, and then some notes on exactly what this entails.
So does
You
anyone
should put that on Think Tank, right?
So there's two. So it's 326 is the one that's for the HOAs. They say HOAs and condos, basically condos. And then there's SB 721, which is for the triplexes and larger multifamilies.
And
So
is it California?
all of California. Yeah, it's all of California. And then the deadline is January 1st of 2025. So people want to get it booked like yesterday, basically, the inspector, because they're so busy because as you can imagine, there's so many things
So
to
many.
inspect.
So of the 95%,
Yeah,
I'm assuming a certain percentage of that, if identified, there are some issues, then the HOA will be responsible to fix everything. Or just things that,
the things that they like point out is my
because
understanding.
I'm just like, when you're auditing, you audit so much, and then there's, if there's findings of a certain percentage, then they basically say the whole thing is
But if there's
problematic.
10 things wrong and 5 things are on that list, it's the 5 things they have to fix.
Yeah, but if they only did 95%, well, which most of that, but 5% might be,
Yeah.
that 5%.
I think,
Oh,
yeah, I don't know the very
Yeah.
details of that. I'd probably ask the company, but my understanding is if they red flag something, if it's unsafe, then you have to fix
All of
those.
it, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of condos have very similar, they're all built around the same time. You can't
Right.
fix anything without getting approval, right, from the HOA. So, yeah, there are still like a lot of questions, right? We haven't seen this full turnaround. My big question is gonna be, how are they going to track this, really? Like, who is going to go and be like, how long is it gonna take to put a fine and a lien on? We're not gonna see that until this time comes around, but we don't wanna get there. I don't wanna lean on my property. We don't wanna lean on our clients that we help purchase the property.
Right.
So it's just a good talking point. If you know anybody who is a property manager, I think it's a good, reason to reach out to them, or even just an owner of multifamily, or even condos, just to make sure that their HOA is talking about it.
If they don't do this,
Yeah.
what is there a word like that these owners will get fined?
So they're fine that it doesn't sound like a lot, but it starts off, I read about a $500 fine, which doesn't sound like a lot, but the big deal is if they put a lien on the property, then you're gonna see that when you go to sell the property,
Right.
and it's gonna be an issue. And there's other fees included when you put a lien on the property, so the city is they're gonna tack on additional fees. Yeah.
Not to mention if something happens and my brain goes deep into like how deep this insurance fiasco
Insurance
goes.
is not gonna.
Right.
Like. It
Oh,
has
yeah.
to all be so tied in together that it's like these people now will not be
insurable.
Sure.
And that's
That's
one,
part of the HOA certification
Right.
that I had to deal with
yeah,
recently last year at St. Regis because of the changes in the HOA certs, where some lenders are, they're not lending on certain properties because the
Yeah.
certs are not completed correctly. And this is probably now gonna be an additional
Right.
line item, just like the Florida collapse, the building that
Right.
collapsed, right?
you made a
Is
great
this-
point too when it comes to the insurance, and I haven't seen how, I think that's a good question for Kim or whoever you work with, is to see how that'll tie in. We haven't seen this in full play yet, but I mean, those insurance companies, I do title insurance, don't do homeowners, but I have been focused on homeowners insurance right now because I don't want us to lose our homeowners insurance for our building. So when I talked about railings, that was for homeowners insurance to keep our insurance. Like that wasn't even for the balcony inspections yet. We haven't had our inspection yet, but we know that we're not up to date with code for the railings because Farmers Insurance drove by and they took pictures saying you have more than a 4-inch gap in your railings and they're not tall enough. You need to fix this or we're going to drop you in 60 days.
Wow.
Right?
They're
So
getting crazier and crazier,
Yeah.
and they're consolidating, so there's fewer and fewer
yeah.
insurance companies as well.
And I think I talked to, I think why I spoke to Andreas, a couple other people about what to do with homeowners insurance. And if you guys know Kim Terrell, she's posted this all over and I've tried to share it, but I did it myself too. You can call your insurance company, you can pay on your own instead of having it impounded, your insurance, because what's happening, and this has happened to several, happened to Jack Tanner, happened to Sean Murray, it's happened to people I know, right, that are in the industry and are investors. They've had their insurance dropped for some of their investments recently because the lender had the insurance impounded, but the loans keep getting bought out by these other companies and they don't talk to each
That
other.
happened to me
Happened
too.
to you?
Yeah,
So-
they send me a cancellation notice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, there is another company. You guys don't talk to each other? Nope. They don't. You
don't.
have to.
It's a good reason to like pick up the phone and
Call
call past
people.
clients and just say, hey, do you impound or how do you pay your homeowner's insurance?
Right.
Because if your loan gets bought out, then there's a good chance this could happen.
Yep.
You're aware of it. It's really great education.
And some people have told me like, and that's, yeah, and some people said, oh, I don't want to stop impounding because that's my way of budgeting. And that makes a lot of sense. So in that case, you just need to call, make sure if it gets bought out, you call that loan provider. My loans have been purchased 7 times in the last 4 years. Like, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
And so I know Kim also mentioned, again, she does the homeowner's insurance, I do the title, but she also mentioned if you link your insurance to your bank account instead of your credit card, because if your credit card gets canceled, a lot of theft and stuff, a lot of people forget to update it. And then I just paid for the whole year too. I'm like, you know what? The
Just
least
list.
that because then did you have to were you a new client then?
No. They were able to reinstate it without any fees or anything, because we caught it really quickly.
away.
Yeah.
So Brandy's was 6 days late to hers. She got canceled. 6 days later, she called Kim and Kim couldn't touch the program. And so she had her homeowner's insurance is $600 more per year now
Oh,
because she was 6 days late. So
Dana, if you don't impound, maybe this is silly, but I'm not understanding how that's different.
then you can pay on your own. So like you
Right.
call your homeowner's insurance company, whoever it is, and then you can just set it up so that your payment is paid through your own bank account or credit card.
Yeah,
if
but
you choose.
this is once you know this is happening, or they let you know it's happening.
A lot of people have it impounded. It's up to you when you purchase a property if you want it to be
Right, yeah,
impounded
that
or
I
not.
know,
Yeah.
I know. So that can happen without your knowledge when they sell the loan.
Yeah.
But if you are paying it on your own, do you get notified?
If you're paying it on your
Then
own,
you
your homeowner's insurance will send you the bill directly instead of sending
So
it to
you will
whoever.
be notified as opposed to you'll just be dropped.
Right.
Gotcha, okay, so you have.
But
you have-
issue is if it's
Got it.
being impounded, a lot of times people are being
You
dropped,
won't
not
know.
even knowing
Yeah,
about
got it. I
Mhm.
see.
Yeah.
You can
So-
also, so something I did recently that I think would be helpful for clients too is you can always go to your insurance provider. Like I just called the person that helped me personally, but also who I refer my clients to. And I said, hey, can you check on this? I am impounded. And he said, yeah, everything's up to date, looks good. All you need to do is just occasionally keep checking in. And you do get them in the mail if your loan the servicer is changing. You get a notification. So that would be a reason to to make sure everyone's talking, you know what I mean? So,
That's the trick. It's like
Yeah.
remembering that if your loan gets sold, that insurance
yeah.
company needs to send the check to the other or
So,
the
yeah,
other-
so if you get that notice, you definitely want to be proactive and reach out to your insurance provider so that they can connect. Yeah, and that's what I would tell clients too.
Yeah,
Now, sometimes lenders don't let you, pay, they
make you.
require.
oh, they make you.
So, some based on
Oh,
your,
wow.
your
Loan
your
payment.
loan, your down payment, your, you know.
That's temporary though. That can change, which is true. Yeah, that like
So
you
it's under right now, so
Yeah, income is not required if you have 20% down or more. It is required when you have less than
20% down.
But what I was gonna say, if this is happening, another thing is, yeah, be proactive. If you know your loan is being sold, call your lender and say, hey, are you servicing the loan? And also call your insurance. I know it's a hassle, but if you don't wanna pay $600 more, then take those extra steps to kind of help them do their job, because if they're gonna sell the loan 6 times, there's nothing you can do, so you need to make sure that they are communicating. So pick up that phone and say, hey, are you servicing the loan? Are they gonna still be paying the taxes and the insurance? And at the same time, yes, call your insurance company, hey, this is my new lender now.
Mhm.
Make sure that, this is where your thing's gonna come and be premiums due next time.
So with that said, I get a loan 3 years down the road, it's been impounded those 3 years, and I want to now take control of that.
Uh-huh.
How can
Now
I?
you have 20% equity.
Oh, I don't know if I do.
Well, see, that's where
So
individuals,
my question is, do you guys look at that,
Oh,
or
well,
whoever?
generally,
that?
if once your property falls below 78%, your PMI is supposed to just fall off.
Supposed to,
Yeah,
but it never
supposed to.
does.
But that's where you can pick up the phone. But you can also pick up the phone when you know you have 20% equity in your property, rather than waiting for that 78%. And you pay for the appraisal. And if you pay for the appraisal, you have your 20%, you can have your PMI removed. And at that time, you can say, can I have my taxes and insurance removed as well? Now, remember though, when you, let's say that there's no payments out there, that's $3,000 a month now. But let's say your monthly payment's $3,000. Just remember, if your taxes are $6,000 every 6 months, then in November, you're gonna have a $9,000 payment. So you've got to be prepared to be
Mhm.
putting that money aside yourself as well too. Now, let's say that you're putting 20% down and you opt not to have your taxes and insurance impounded. Sometimes that can affect your interest rate by maybe an 8 or so, because the lender feels always more secure that they're paying the taxes and insurance.
Yeah, but they don't, I mean, if they take insurance away, they don't do their job correctly.
Right, but not all on like that, is saying,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's just generally
Yeah.
just how it works.
Can you impound your taxes and not your insurance?
When you have 20% or more, you choose just to have one and not the other, absolutely, that's your choice, because you have 20% equity in property.
And something that happened to me because the loan kept getting bought out, right? It was, when I went to Chase Bank, much easier to call them and get my PMI removed. Yeah, so they were a lot easier for me to deal with than any of the other Rocket Mortgage, Mr. Cooper. It's different with every single loan provider that you call. So I'm not trying to promote Chase in a way. I'm just saying like everybody's different. So when you call, it'll be different across the board, I believe, right? Depending on who you call. And they'll give you an option usually like, oh, you can just pay this amount of money from your bank account without getting an appraisal, just to make sure, because we have a number that we want to be at, or you can pay for an appraisal and they have to make sure that it's at the amount that we want to be. So for me, I just paid, maybe I don't remember how much it was, because I was like, I don't want to spend $500 on an appraisal when I don't know, it might be $500 short of the amount that they want. I knew it'd be close. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
they'll give you options sometimes. That was my experience, and it's different with every loan provider.
if you're in a
So
market that suddenly drops and your, your appreciation is gonna change, or your equity is gonna change in that situation, and they just then put the line back on.
No.
We're kind of going to refer back to like 2008, so,
Yeah.
I don't know.
In a crash,
Yeah, I could find out, I can ask, hey, you had the PMI rule, and all of a sudden we go back into time,
Yeah.
2008.
It would have to be
again,
so severe, it's
yeah.
not likely to happen. Okay.
20% is a lot
Yeah.
for it to drop.
But anyway, so if you do want information on the Senate bills, right, or if you want me to help you guys with farming, I would say reach out to people you already know too, first and foremost, that you've helped purchase properties, or if there are any properties that you have. But you can just email me, or find me on Instagram. Most of you know me on there, but Dana the Title Rep, and I'll help you guys out. So that's it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank
Do you
you.
have a piece about this already? in
Not
plan?
through Old Republic, because we aren't promoting like the balcony inspections, but I have my own information, and I do have pieces through a company that does service this.
Okay.
If that-
If you don't send it to me, I'll post it.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
post it in Think Tank.
Perfect. I'll send you everything that I have.
Thank you.
The only
Thank
thing
you,
with
Dana.
Dana's situation is that she's like totally embedded into this. Being an owner of a condo unit and experiencing all
Mhm.
these
Yeah.
things.
I know you
So
guys
it's
appreciate it.
Like, I'm gonna have a big party when all my problems are resolved, and I'll have a
And
lot
I'm
of.
gonna stand on the
It's
balcony.
escalating.
And then
quick.
Well, I'll have a lot of videos and content to share from my end.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Jumping up and down.
Hey, for anybody concerned with that, just so you know, 1500 East Ocean, from my understanding, the HOA has already handled all that. So they're already on top of their inspections on that.
Were there other ones, Dublin? 'Cause I remember you said that there was a couple others too. Did you know offhand any of the other buildings by chance? That had done them, or just that one?
Yeah, I know that 1750 was looking into theirs, but I'm not sure if they did that or not. I know 1500 for sure. I'm not really sure of which other ones 100%. I know 1000 was also looking into it. But the bigger problem that a lot of the smaller ones are the ones that keep their HOAs down really low.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them are pushing it off as far as possible because they're having to look at it and either start to do an assessment or raise their HOAs in order to offset that assessment. So a lot of the smaller buildings that don't have the number of units, they're going to get hit pretty hard.
And if they're older buildings, they're gonna have issues.
Right,
Like,
right.
what-
Well, a lot of the older buildings already did retrofit. Like a lot of the much older buildings have had to do retrofit throughout the years. So they may not be so bad off, but some of the ones that are kind of in between, like 1970s, 60s, things like, but the ones in the 20s, 30s, 40s, they all had to do retrofit years ago for the strapping and stuff like that. So they may be okay.
Time will tell.
So, yeah,
Time will
let's
tell.
see.
But I share this information if you guys do find out, like Dublin knows of certain complexes that have, probably good for you to already know if fires going in, right, or sellers already have some of it.
That would be a question to ask up front when you're taking a listing,
Yeah.
you know, and then if
condo
you have a
listing.
buyer, ask, have they done this yet? You know, those would be questions up front.
Mm-hmm. Okie
Very good,
dokie.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was very good information.
This might be something, well, yeah, okay. This
Just-
might be something that like, when you're asking for HOA docs and CCNR and like,
Right.
it's gonna become mandatory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to know up front.
Yeah, and I bet you will run across like
Mhm.
80% of them will be like, what?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Especially the smaller
There's
ones.
gonna be some new laws coming down the pipe.
Oh, yeah.
Okie dokie. So anybody wants to talk about anything that you guys need, anything that is coming up other than the open houses that we already talked about? Um,
We're
So
moving.
today, Simone, I don't know if all of you know her. She is an agent with us, but she works with KJ, and KJ just left. And she does some marketing stuff, mostly the pub buys for some people, not only here, but in other places too. But she was gonna come over and her baby, not so baby, her little one got sick, but she's doing pop buys and actually dropping them for people, and then even doing videos so you can post it on your Instagram, anywhere in your social media. So we're gonna push it for next week, but it's a great resource if you have many clients and you don't want to take the time to drop every one of them. Maybe you want to drop a couple and then she can drop the rest. She's very fair with her price. And she's doing those, and they're really cute. She was gonna bring samples. She was gonna do a whole thing today, so she's devastated that she was not able to. So I will reschedule it for her, and then you can find out how to do that. You can either order it by itself or with the video and all that. So that's it for this side of the table. Oh, the book club.
Yeah.
So do you guys want to do the energy bus? Have you read the energy bus?
Anybody read it? Yeah.
It's changed some lives, and we had a guest last week that he saw that I had that book as one of the options, and he said it changed in his entire life. It was a great, very short book, but it's great. So
I like it when not a lot of people have read
the
what we're
book,
gonna do,
yeah.
right? Because we want to look at
No
fresh.
expectations.
Okay, I'm good
Yes.
with that. You guys want to do that? Energy bus?
Sure.
Okay, Tuesday after the class, okay? If we have class, we'll do it after the class.
Right.
And if not, we'll push it to 11, so then you don't waste time. And then, there should be a short series, but it's a great book.
And we just do chapter by chapter, same thing. We don't have to read the whole book.
Yeah,
Nobody does.
so I'll send it over, send the link, so you guys can either, excuse me, can either Audible or buy it. It's a yellow book. It looks like a bus.
Cool.
Yellow bus book.
So we have a new book club.
No, it's not that kind of book. No, it's a great, awesome book. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? Nothing else. How are you doing, Emily? Good. Working.
Working.
How are you liking it so far?
Good, fun.
Yeah. Did you guys find a place, or you were?
We put the offer on the yellow duplex. It didn't get accepted. We all put in an offer on a Vegas home also, decided not to go forth with that. So we're just still looking.
Still looking. Awesome. Okay. It'll happen.
It'll happen at
Yes.
some point.
Yes. How about Cynthia? How are you doing with your stuff?
I'm doing good. Just been reaching out to all my neighbors and taking down names. Taking down names, visiting dogs, sharing gardening tips. It's been fun. So, but I wanted to ask you guys, so I was talking to one of my neighbors who wants to sell, and she has an agent that she worked with in the past. I don't think she signed a contract yet, so give me some feedback about how to get myself in there, because I think she might be open to it, but also I have a buyer that might be a great fit for our condo community. So I'm trying to figure out, well, obviously, if I were to come with that buyer, I would suggest a single party showing to see if, that could work out. I know that she's planning on doing some work, so I don't think she's listed with this other agent yet because she wants to do that first. And the other agent, she's told me, has told her, well, you gotta get rid of all the popcorn ceilings, you have to this and that, and she's like, I don't wanna get rid of popcorn ceilings, and I'm like, what if my buyer didn't care about that?
Right.
So that's kind of, for me, I would say the advantages, if I were talking to her, is like, listen, you're looking at doing a lot of work. You're looking at, having Dan come and give you a bid. What if you could bring that level of work down and have no showings? Here's a buyer who really wants to live here. You want to sell and move on?
Yeah, do a single.
I would do that.
Your pitch already sounds more convenient.
Yeah.
You have Dan, you have a buyer.
Yeah.
You have Dan, you have a buyer, you have less cost.
Right.
So just pitch it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Okay.
Do it before the other person gets to move in.
So what about objection handlers? Well, she helped me sell my mom's house. Yeah, it just sounds like convenience wise, this would be kind of a no-brainer, but it's completely up to you, and let's see if this works out. This could mean no showings.
Right.
You just can agree on a price, no additional work, and move on.
Right. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Does she already have a place to go to?
She's looking in Northern Cal.
And does she have an agent up there?
Well, that's what I'm also gonna recommend.
Okay.
Because I want to find out if Louise works in that area.
Oh, she's in, like how far north?
Rancho Cordova is where she's looking.
Okay, let's see if
It's just a
everybody
general
knows.
offer to interview agents on her behalf.
Right,
So you
Yeah.
can find the right person.
right. And then that way you get to stay involved so that you make sure her transition is smooth.
Yes.
And you get your
Because
referral.
Because, yes, well, you get the referral, yes, but if you find an agent for her up there, that allows you to stay involved. If she gets one on her own, you have to back off. You
Yeah.
cannot be involved.
If you
But
need
then, yeah.
somebody, I've got somebody I can get you.
Yeah.
I don't know the person, but that way you can get a referral fee as well.
Yeah.
Stay involved in the
Well, I think-
transaction as well.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
which is always good. And I can get data. I would also get data for your condo. You could probably get some comps that were not fixed up or anything like that.
Right, I have that, and I just need to reach out to title because, there was a recent that was off market just done in there, so I need to find out what. all
What it's
that-
sold for.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I
also-
know what it's sold for, but I wanna know what they buy.
Got it, got it.
Keep in mind too, that if you work with her here and have the referral up there, and you get to stay kind of connected, you can help facilitate that easy
Right,
move
Right,
right.
and coordinate concurrent close.
and if you're getting a referral up there, you could always reduce your commission a little bit on this side.
Yeah.
And make it competitive against the other agent.
Are you allowed to say that?
Well, she doesn't know that you're getting a referral fee up there. You don't have to tell them, you say, I can find you an agent up there, right?
They don't need to know.
They don't need to know you're getting a referral fee, and you get a 25-30% referral fee.
Right.
Figure out what that's gonna be.
But I mean,
and-
if you talk about a slight reduction.
Well, I
You
think
won't
I
know.
wouldn't do a
I
slight
wouldn't do that.
reduction unless there was
Until-
hesitation.
Right, unless there's
On getting
hesitation.
the business. Say,
Right.
listen.
If you bring a if you do a single party showing and this works out, then is this the situation of dual agency then?
Yes.
That-
Yeah.
That needs to be talked about and
Right,
disclosed
right.
and agreed upon.
Right,
Okay. But the benefits of that are everything that's just. talked about.
yeah, it's a lot.
But also, I think clients need, because I was close in Big Bear, so I had to have the conversation a few times. Like, the objection handling for dual agency is also, there's some objection handling that happens with lowering your commission. I say don't,
Yeah.
like, because not now, you have to be insanely transparent. You are now a mediator between both parties.
Right.
You are, your TC is doing double the work, your blah, blah, blah. Everything is still
Right.
like, hey,
Right.
this is actually now a little harder
Yeah.
for me. So
Right,
I don't feel like if I double lend it,
Yeah.
I'm rewarding you by going from 5 to 4%. It's twice the work for me.
Well, why would you go from 5 to 4?
I'm
Why
just
can't
saying
you go to, from 5 to
4.5.
4
Okay,
to
yeah,
4.2?
yeah, yeah.
You know what
That's
I don't understand those big leaps,
No, no,
right?
no, like whatever, 2.25, but
that's
still,
a great point,
my argument still for that, like,
yeah.
and I had that conversation with my seller in Big Bear because it was very close to double ending, and she's like, she got it. She was just like, yeah, no, you're doing double the work. It's double the exposure to
Right.
make a mistake. Your TC's doing twice the work. She's like, I don't care. I'll give you the 5% on it. And it just never panned out. But I'm saying like, I had her there anyway.
I think you should always fight for your commission.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm not gonna be the one negotiating against myself, so,
No.
you know, just see what happens if there is, you know. Like you said, if there's pushback about it, which it doesn't seem like that would be an issue. I think all the other things, the benefits are,
Mhm.
would be really appealing to them.
And this is in your building.
Does the other,
It's
does the
in the
agent,
condo
Easy
building,
showing.
it's in the condo community.
Yeah.
Yes.
does the agent, the other agent live in your community?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I mean.
Get her name, look
Another
her up.
Yeah.
benefit.
That's an advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
And she wants Dan to give the quote.
she wants Dan to give the quote.
You're in.
Who's Dan?
My fiance, oh. He's not- Yeah. Well, we've already done a lot of work in this complex now. I'm like, listen, dude, no, I'm just kidding. Where's my lead? So they give you. No, it's funny. It's funny, but he does do that and it's really nice. I actually, you know, when we get ready to want to flip our first property, I have been doing little things with him. But what a great way to meet all of his clients who.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Especially-
I think it's likable. Yeah, no, the guy, one of the sellers, he's not a seller yet, but he was doing all this work and I did some painting. Dan needed help, so I said, okay, I got a day, let's do some painting.
So I did painting and he, wow, he was like, that's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, so I'm talking to him, you know, you've done all this nice work. What do you want to do? Do you want to go somewhere else? Like, no, I just want to enjoy it for a while. I'm like, good for you. That's what you should do. And when you're ready to make any kind of life change or right, I'm your head. And then he was like, yeah, and we can tell people you made it this fall.
Keep doing that. That
doing it.
works. That's how you build relationships. That's the whole
It's all
point.
about that, relationships and advocates.
On a different note, I just want to let you guys know that I saw this article too, that the IRS sent automatic balance due for your taxes, even though most Californians get that extension, automatic extension to October or whatever it is, 16. They apologize because it's an automatic thing by law. They have to send it out. So it's not that you are going to be penalized or anything for doing it, but they have to send it. So obviously in the form or in the mail that they send, they don't say that, but now we know
That's all it
And
is.
that
that's
they
also
had to.
right, your estimated taxes
Mhm.
are not due until October for,
Yeah,
was it? Was it starting in January? January one or just April? No, it was January. January, April. No, January.
January is not due on, no, November. Okay.
No. The estimated taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So January estimated taxes are for 2022. April
It's for 23.
is 23,
Mm-hmm.
July, and then let's say October. So you don't, your estimated taxes, the first one's due in October.
Yes.
Did everybody get
First
that?
one.
If you didn't, there's donuts in the back.
You're gonna get some sugar in your brain.
So yeah, I got
For
that
yeah,
letter.
I got mine that it was due, but I paid it anyways because I already did my taxes before the October deadline. So I wanted some money back.
Well, I'm
But
holding on to it, not giving it.
yeah,
I don't
So
think
it's sitting in my little savings, but I got the email freaking out. Like, hope you had a good day because I got some bad news. I'm like, what? It's the taxes. I got a letter from IRS. Because I hate it. I don't like that.
We got it. We
got it.
Person.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sent out an apology letter.
Yes,
So
they
you
did.
just get another one there? So,
Yeah, so don't worry if you get that notice. Apparently, almost everybody got it because it's by law, they had to notify you that is balance due, and I did too, but.
And one last note, don't forget pickleball Thursdays, 2 to 4. This is important stuff, gang. But yes, and I got my t-shirt.
oh,
It came
mine's
in,
was
so
done quick.
I'm gonna be wearing my t-shirt on Thursday.
That's so
the
fun.
Think Boutique.
I went there for just to watch them play. Andreas went there too, Sandra went there.
You ended up playing.
And I ended up playing with my knee the way it was because I had awesome Carrie behind me catching every ball that went farther than where I was. So I'm gonna go Thursday and I'm gonna do it. It's so fun. I was planted and then she was.
Info on Think Tank or?
I
Where
don't
it
know.
is.
I mean, it's the Seal Beach Tennis and Pickleball Club
On Lamson. It's right there. You turn on Lamson and it's there to the right.
Right off the
after-
Seal Beach Boulevard.
Keep in mind that it's a $5.
Yeah, it costs $5 to
fee
play.
that you have to go into the.
But if you're just gonna come watch or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
the first time, you don't have to pay it.
Yeah.
It is
So-
so much fun, and then, we need another afterwards to go over to, Spaghettini's for a drink.
Oh,
We haven't done
Yes.
that. We did that once, and that was a lot of fun, so we need to do that.
Yeah, it was super fun. We'll do it this Thursday.
Yeah,
So
but
really
it's just
cool.
fun to move around, you know, just to get out there and laugh. We laugh a lot.
And
Yeah.
it's not a whole lot of moving around. It's a
No.
small court. Trust me, there's not a whole lot. You still get tired, yes, if you only do it on Thursdays. And that's the only thing you do. Also, it
But
hurts.
then thank goodness Dana plays, because we played on the same side, and I'm like, Dana, if you play up and you play up and I'll play back, right? Because I can't go from this side back and forth and then come back again. I'm too old for that. So she's like all over the court. It was awesome. But yes, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And Andreas is playing this week, right?
I am.
So if there's 8 of us, we can take 2 courts,
Yes.
right?
Rookie debut.
2 to 4.
Yeah, super fun.
So yeah,
Come for
please come.
however long too. doesn't have to be
It doesn't
full-time.
matter. There's people that show up after 2 and then people that leave.
And then we
before 4.
switch and
It's
whatever.
just fun. Just fun to get out there and laugh together and do stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to get used to the ball and how it bounces. Because it doesn't bounce like tennis, it doesn't
Well,
bounce
it's a
like,
wiffle ball.
yeah, it's a wiffle ball, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when it lands, you think it's coming to you, but no, it stops. It's short of you, so. Oh, yes, it does, and the wind
That's
blows
fun,
in
too.
Seal Beach every day, so. It's fun.
Yeah, so it's nothing serious.
2 to 4, yeah.
Mhm.
2 to 4. Okay, gang.
Okay, so if
Have a great
nobody
day.
else has anything else, then we are here. Bye Dublin, bye Shell. Thank you for hanging in there.